Hi, good afternoon. It's Jim. How you doing? I'm going to do a very short, hopefully short video, which is a bit different from the sort of stuff what I normally do on here. I don't know if this is a rant or just a discussion, but I want to just express my feelings towards this woman called Katie Edwards, who's, I don't know if she's a journalist, but she's got an article printed in The Independent, which is a newspaper in the UK, 5-6 days ago. The title is Vinyl Sales are at a High, but Owning Records is a Pointless Endeavour. And she kind of just goes off on one, saying that anybody who collects vinyl and records, any physical media, is a snob. It kind of makes me a bit angry. I'm going to just read you the article, and I'll talk about it a bit at the end. So, it starts off. ABBA, not content with dominating the charts and wedding playlists for decades, are also now responsible for a resurgence in the sale of vinyl records, which, according to the BBC, has reached its highest level in more than 3 decades. Wow, there we go. Well, what's going on? Vinyl is fragile, it's unreliable, it scratches easily, and jumps irritatingly with any nearby vibrations. This is true. And it takes up space. This is also true. So much space. I should know. 1/3 of my dining room is dedicated to my husband's precious LP collection. He sounds like a good chap, doesn't he? He's travelled miles to record fairs, spent hours searching through hundreds of records on the lookout for additions to his collection. Some of his records are rare enough that he's reluctant to play them in case they get damaged. Now, that I don't understand. We've had many conversations about the appeal of vinyl, but I'm still at a loss. Apparently, it's something like the difference between books and Kindles. The sensory charm of a physical format is comforting and reassuring. The size of LPs means that one can appreciate album artwork more easily. I'm told that watching vinyl spin on the turntable can be hypnotic. Purists might say that vinyl offers superior sound quality to that of streaming services. Yes, it does. But I can't hear the difference. What are you listening on? Beyond the unmistakable opening crackle and low hiss of a record playing. That's the only difference you can hear. Unfortunately, I've heard that sound played too many times on crime thrillers, and now I can only hear it with the prickle of anxiety that is a prelude to the entrance of a serial killer. That's quite funny. I do wonder, this is where it gets annoying, I do wonder about the cultural significance of the revival of vinyl, though. Apparently, it's not only fans of ABBA who love LPs. The trend is also being driven by sales of Adele and Ed Sheeran. It could be that these artists are appealing to an older demographic who are more comfortable with a tactile format. Perhaps it's the experience of vinyl that's the clincher, in the way that I like to hold a physical copy of a book and turn the actual pages rather than read an electronic version. Right, okay. So far, so good. It seems like she's coming around to it. I understand that preference for the substantial, of owning something material rather than virtual. What I'm not sure about, though, is whether this trend is really about quality or whether there is a touch of snobbery about the retro attraction of vinyl. Oh my God, would you shut up? I've met more than my fair share of musos who think they're somehow superior because of their taste in music. Having a showy collection of vinyl that owners have to pull out and parade in front of uninterested guests, stifling yawns, is a display of pretentiousness that turns me right off. Well, you never come into my house. No, I'll take the eminently portable and convenient digital option any day. I can listen to whatever I want, whenever I want, on whichever device I like. That's all power to you. All power to you. That's fine. My collection can't be damaged. It can be lost. It doesn't take up any physical space. Well, that is true, it doesn't. And it doesn't collect dust. I can also move between songs quickly and easily depending on my mood and create playlists for different occasions or activities. So can I. Guess what? I've got a phone. I know Adele was strident about not shuffling songs, but I'm not a huge fan of authorial or artistic intention. Well, you shouldn't be appreciating and enjoying it then, should you? Once the album's mine, I'll listen to it however I please. I don't want artists dictating how I read, see, or listen to their work. They've done their bit, and once their songs are in the public arena, the listeners will do theirs. Of course, having a hidden set of virtual playlists has the added benefit that nobody has to see my collection of 80s power ballads and 90s dance tunes. Not that I'd be embarrassed, I just can't be bothered with the inevitable scoffing by self-described music buffs who consider themselves authorities on taste just because they've got a couple of obscure LPs. Would you like to name any? Like so many things, ownership of the right collection of records is part of conspicuous consumption. A status symbol signifying a superior palate. A different palate. Maybe the electronic alternative is less appealing to vinyl enthusiasts because it allows fewer opportunities for them to parade their tastes at dinner parties. Who goes to dinner parties? Who? Who in this day and age goes to dinner parties and takes a vinyl collection with them? Whoever did that? It just doesn't happen. And I go to a dinner party, you're going to get COVID, aren't you? That's the first thing you're going to do. And then, what? Right, sorry. No record sleeves to prop up against the retro sideboard while guests help themselves to the pistachios. Anyway, I'd love to say more, but I've got an appointment to belt out Alone by Heart, the streamed version. OBS. What a vacuous, horrible... no, you probably are not. I'm sorry, that's horrible. But you know what? Back in the day, yes, I know, technology changes. So after records, we went to tapes. I bought tapes. I have tapes. We went to CDs. I've got thousands of them. I have them. I do. I even have mini discs. Mini disc player. I still have them all. Guess what? We got iPods. I still have them. Phones. Look at this. iTunes. All my CDs, they're there. And then Spotify. I can stream anything in the world ever recorded. I can. But I choose not to all the time. In the privacy of my own home. And for the very reasons that you have identified, yes, I like to listen to music on vinyl. I like to own vinyl. It's tactile. It's something. It's a thing. It's something you can pass on. It's something that you can inherit. It has crackles and noise and sound on it. That is part of its appeal. That is part of its story. It's a physical thing that's had a history. If it's second-hand, it's had a history with somebody else. And part of that history is the noise. It's the scars and the marks that it's picked up in its life. And you're now the custodian of that. It tells a story. Every little mark and scratch on the cover tells a story. The record itself is a thing. You can... Having a finite number of records, no matter how big your collection is, it's still going to be finite, means that you constrained. You don't have this unlimited choice of having to, I don't fancy that, I'll keep going, flip, through an never-ending list of scrolling songs. You're far more likely to sit and listen to something with intent because you've invested in it. And it's the difference between music being art, which I truly believe it is. It is an art form for the artist who's made it. And they need to express something and to enjoy it in that way or to appreciate it in that way than it is as music being muzak, which I said, what I think you're enjoying. It's just background noise. Obviously, you have a connection to some of these... say you're not going to see this. She has a connection to some songs which mean the things to her. They're emotionally impactful. That's great. It's great, and absolutely appreciate your music in the way that you want to, listen to it how you want to. I'm never going to tell you not to, and nobody would. But to say that all people who listen to vinyl and buy vinyl and collect it and have it and own it, some of this is my grandparents, my uncle and aunts, my mum, my dad's, old friends, people who have died. They've left me records. I have records that stretch back 50, 60 years. I've even got... Look at this. I have these. These are reel-to-reel tapes. Must date back to the 60s. These were my dad's. You know, it's not just records and vinyl. It's physical things have a physical space in this physical world that we're all parts of and we live in. If you reduce everything to zeros and ones, it doesn't exist. It's ephemeral. It has no substance. It has no worth. It literally has no worth. I don't know. It just makes me cross because she's missing out or missing the point of why some people collect records and have record collections and CD collections and tape collections and everything else. It's just for all the reasons that she said. She identified them. Maybe there are some people who collect records because they want to show off. It's boring though, isn't it? It really is. Know your friends. Know who you are. If your friends want to look at your records and see them, then by all means, let them come and see it and be involved. I'm in a different. I'm not even in the house. I'm in a separate shed, kind of the garage, really, where these are. It's not on display. It's not taking up space that's in the way of anybody else. This is my space. This is where I have my music. This is what I do. This is my fun, my gym time, you know? Katie, leave me alone. Never darken my social media pages again. Katie Edwards. The electronic alternative is less appealing to snobby vinyl enthusiasts because it allows fewer opportunities for them to parade their tastes at dinner parties. That's the snub. I think my next video might have some music in it. I might play something from a record. You never know. I'll see you guys on the next video whenever and whatever that is. And until then, this is Jim over and out.